overwhelmed. I've never felt overwhelmed before.
Just give us a second. We'll be all situated.
Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yahad. 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 How good it is,
how good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is,
how good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yahad.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, that was not enough Shabbat Shalominess for me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was significantly better. Thank you so much. If you are here for Sonali's Bat Mitzvah, you're in the wrong location. So that would be across the way in the chapel. We have a Bat Mitzvah in the chapel. So if you're here for Sonali's Bat Mitzvah, go and head over to the chapel. No one will think twice, okay? No judgments. All right, you are all here in the right place for our Shabbat morning service, and Logan is going to be leading us in our Shabbat morning service. I want to just remind you and tell you a couple of things. First, the word Shabbat is a reminder of our story of creation, where we're told that God created for 6 days, and on the seventh day, God rested and reflected and refreshed and saw that the world was good. And it is an opportunity, it's a parenthetical pause. Shabbat is a parenthetical pause in our week where we let the outside world be the outside world and where we get to slow down and have, in musical terms, a rest note, right? Recognizing that if you are moving so fast, it's hard to recognize the good that exists in the world. And that part of doing so is to be intentional in slowing down and finding joy and being in relationship with one another. The word shalom in our tradition means peace and wholeness, and as the idea of it is that is our greatest prayer. And so we say Shabbat Shalom to one another. We're going to practice that also again. We're going to say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are actually watching from home or other places around the world. There are cameras right in the back, and I want to invite you to turn around. You can wave even and say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are at home. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Perfect. You've done that for me. You've done that to the people, for the people at home, and for the people who are here in the room. I want you to just take a moment to say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are around you, to the north, the south, the east, and the west, and just welcome one another into our sanctuary. Underneath your seats is a prayer book. It's a blue prayer book. And if you want to take out your prayer book, you can do so. And you can open up to page 226. Now, you may notice that we also have screens. And what is in the prayer book is also on the screens. And if you find yourself getting lost, the screen on the lower right-hand side has the page number, and you can always find your way in your prayer book by looking at the screen or by following the page number. And also, if you find yourself getting lost in the book, chances are, right, in Jewish tradition, if you turn the page, that's exactly where we are, okay? So just turn the page, and that's most likely where we are. The other thing is that this service that Logan is leading is our Shabbat morning service, and it's an opportunity for our people in our community to be here, many of whom are watching at home, and we want to invite all of you to participate. This is not a performance. This is not, right, this is an opportunity for all of us to participate in services. And so every time that Logan is reading in Hebrew or chanting in Hebrew, we can participate as well. And every time he's reading in English, we can participate as well. You'll see the readings either on the screen or in your books. And you also may find that you don't know Hebrew. On the screens and in your books is a transliteration of Hebrew into English or Latin letters, and you will able to follow along. Or if you don't know any of the tunes, if you sing yada die die die, that's going to be fine. Right? That actually also passes in the Jewish tradition as participatory, as singing along. So we invite you to sing along. We're going to begin with our call to worship, which it says, are we here? Are we ready? Are we ready to pray? And the answer hopefully is yes. And we're going to, in a moment, rise.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach
Yalla lie lie lie. 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 Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elhecha b'chol vavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meyodecha v'chayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anohi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantan levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'bitecha uvleftecha v'derech ukshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'chayu lo tatevot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tifkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kidoshim leolechem ani Adonai Elhechem asher hotzeti etchem ma'eretz Mitzrayim leot lachem leochim Ani Adonai Elhechem. Slavery is not only a problem of the past. When we think only of ourselves, we are slaves to selfishness. When we are hateful to others because of who they are, we are slaves to prejudice. When we crave what others have, we are slaves to greed. When we always have to be right or the winner, we are slaves to false pride. When we are afraid to speak out against something we know is wrong, we are slaves to fear. Oh God, help us know true freedom. Yar lai 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 lai. Yar lai 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 lai. Yar lai 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 lai. Yar lai 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 yar lai 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder v'kodesh, nora tehilot osef elei. Nora tehilot osef elei.
שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים ושמחה שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו
Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Sur Yisrael, kuma bezrat Yisrael, ufedechinu mecha Yehuda veYisrael. Go aleinu Adonai Tzevaot, Shemo Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu Vimotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zoher Chasei Avot V'Imahot, Uvnei V'Gula Lifnei V'neihem, Lemad Shemo B'Hahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol atah Rav Le'Oshia, Mashiv Harua Umarid Hagashem, Mechal Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye Hakol Barachamim Rabim, Thomet Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umachaye Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'al Giverot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umachaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, Vene'eman Atal Chayot Hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Mechol ha'aretz, Kevodo.
Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Madir Shimcha bechol haaretz.
Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkomo.
Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshi'enu, vehu Yashmi'enu, Berachamav le'inei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem,
Yimloch Baruch Adonai leolam, Elohai Tzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah.
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We now take time for silent prayer. Oh, say shalom, be romav, huya. Oh, say shalom, be romav, huya se shalom. Huya ase shalom. Huya ase shalom.
Alleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Be shalom, be romav.
We come now to Seder Kriyat Torah l'Shabbat, the service for the reading of the Torah on Shabbat morning. And our Jewish tradition tells us that our people experienced slavery and servitude in Egypt, that they had the audacity, we call it chutzpah, to imagine a better place in a promised land and to walk towards that promise together. Our tradition teaches that our people received the Torah as a gift at Mount Sinai on their journey, on their way towards the promised land. And that the Torah wasn't just a gift that was given for the generation that lived in the desert and traveled in the desert, but rather it was a gift for all generations. It was a gift to all of humanity. And it was a gift that is supposed to be passed down the door from generation to generation into the arms of our young people, because the one true guarantee that our tradition will last for an eternity is the fact that our young people carry the values of the Torah in their lives and walk with it. And then, of course, we get to this Torah portion today. And the Torah portion today, as we're going to hear a little more about, is all about creating a type of sanctuary, a type of mishkan, a type of holding vessel for that Torah. And whether that holding vessel is in fact a synagogue or an ark or whatever it is that we traveled with in the desert, or that vessel is each and every one of us who chooses to live with the values of the Torah in our lives, there's a recognition that what we are creating matters, and that it takes all of us to do it together. That is also true of the actual Torah service. It takes all of us. And there's a variety of people that I'm going to invite forward to help in making this happen. So, to come open the ark, I want to invite forward Logan's aunt, Deborah Kovitz, and to help pass the Torah, Lador Vador, from generation to generation, your parents, Jeff and Robin. And of course, Brandon, if Brandon will also come on up, because he's going to help, or he can actually even stand with you guys. That's totally fine. And then he'll help with the undressing of the Torah. Logan, you're going to go down right there as your Aunt Deborah and I take out the Torah from the ark. Perfect. And the only other person I'm missing is all of you. If you would please rise. Okay. Hi. Logan, right here, you have your parents and your brother, right? And you have your parents who are representing the generations of your family going back to Mount Sinai, right? And what you're going to do is I want you to just take a moment to look at their faces. Just take a moment to look at Logan, right? To take a deep breath, to take it all in, right? And we're going to pass you the Torah, Lador Vador, from generation to generation, into your arms. Towards the other way. It's okay.
Shema Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Vehishtachavu Behar Kocho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Vehishtachavu Behar Kocho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki, that's your part. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Let's do ki again, okay? Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki
Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu.
My Torah portion, Teruma, is basically just a blueprint for the Mishkan, the portable dwelling place of God. Teruma takes place in the book of Exodus, from 25:1 to 27:19. Those numbers probably mean nothing to you, but just know it's in the middle of the Exodus from Egypt. I'm actually just reading 25:14 to 25:21, but don't tell that to my parents. Jokes aside, Teruma is actually an important part of the Torah. While it may just look like some blueprints from the outside, it has some deep messages about passion and sacrifice. Before this Torah portion, God instructed the Israelites to build a Mishkan. All of the Israelites began working on this project because the Mishkan provided a sense of safety. After all, it was God's house. The Israelites felt scared and nervous, yet still hopeful. They had just escaped from slavery in Egypt and were heading towards the promised land, Israel, although they had to make a grueling journey across a massive desert first. The Mishkan is what helped the Israelites through the feelings of anxiety and fear. If you were building God's house, he'd probably give you a sparing journey through the desert, as long as you didn't make him angry by worshiping idols or something. Teruma shows that no matter what happens, people will sacrifice and work to continue pursuing and practicing their passions. Even while being lost in a desert, the Israelites found a way to continue worshiping God. This worship wasn't just equipmentless praying. As I said earlier, they had a Mishkan to build. This wasn't just some shack on wheels with God written on it in red paint either. Analyzing Teruma shows the Mishkan must have required a lot of time, effort, and money to be used for its construction. As said in 25:17, you shall make a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. If you aren't an ancient Egypt nerd like me, a cubit is about the length of your elbow to the tip of your longest finger. That is massive. Absolutely huge, about 4 by 2.5 feet, and made of solid gold. And it was only one part of the Mishkan. Imagine the amount of time, effort, and money needed to be collectively sacrificed for this massive project. Teruma also shows how a community can create things that just one person can't. As I said before, all of the Israelites were working on this building, all giving something to the effort. The combination of the Israelites' collective skills is what allowed them to build the Mishkan. After all, Teruma literally means gift or offering. You can apply these teachings in the real world by never giving up on your passions. No matter the odds, you should always stick to your goals. For example, my weird hobby of writing essays about random historical wars probably won't make me millions, but it's still a fun hobby and skill, and very useful in history class, English class, and even in writing this speech. It also shows that you aren't always by yourself. One person alone couldn't build the Mishkan. In conclusion, Teruma teaches you to never give up on your passions. Yet another message of wisdom from the Torah.
Yesher Koach. I think it's one of my favorite teachings that the Mishkan was not some shack with God's name written on the side.
In red.
In red.
It was awesome.
Fact. Okay. For the first Aliyah, I'd like to invite forward Elaine Engel and Lee Engel. Good Shabbos. On the count of 3 when you're ready. Ready? 1. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch atah
Adonai
noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Veheveta et habadim batabaot al salot ha'aron laset et ha'aron bahem. Batabaot ha'aron ihyu habadim lo yafuru mimenu. Venatata el ha'aron et ha'edut asher atein elecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei lanu otah b'chayenu Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
And we say aloud, Yesher Koach for keeping up the strength and, of course, honoring Torah and Shabbat and Logan. I know this is going to be very difficult to do, but if you would come walk by Logan and give him a big, huge hug, and then go stand on the other side of the cantor. You can hug them. Give her a hug. All right, I'm going to invite your parents, Jeff and Robin, to please come up for the second Aliyah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu es Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Ve'asita chaporet zahav tahor amatai im b'chetzi horka ve'amata chetzi rochba ve'asita shenaim kiruvim zahav miksha ta'aseh otam mishnei kitzot hakaporet va'aseh kiruv echad mikata mizeh ukruv echad mikata mizeh min hakaporet ta'asu et hakiruvim al shenei kitzotav.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
And we say Yesher Koach to you for honoring Shabbat and Torah, for raising awesome kids in our community, and of course, giving him a hug as well.
All right, Logan, it's our privilege to call you for the final aliyah to the Torah today as a bar mitzvah, Logan Rothberg. Ya'amud lev ma'oz ben Yaakov simcha v'rivka yocheved habar mitzvah la'aliyah la'Torah.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
V'hayu et ha'keruvim porasei chenafayim lemala sochefim v'chanfechem al hakaporet ufnehem ish el achiv ichyu et hakaporet ichyu pnei hakeruvim va'aseh Venatata et hakaporet el ha'aron miolamala va'el ha'aron titen et ha'edut asher atein elecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. And we all say aloud, Yesher Koach. For honoring Torah and Shabbat, becoming a bar mitzvah in our congregation today, for all of the growth and becoming that is yet to be. Yesher Koach, you did a beautiful job, Logan. You can take even more breath and have even more water when you go sit down. But before you do that, you have to give your parents one more hug. Yes, it's a requirement. All right. We take a moment as the Torah is out to think of those in our community who are in need of healing. And the names of those in our community are going to be listed on the screen. And these are people who are members are thinking about, they're sometimes our members, they're people who are in hospital rooms and who are at home or other places at far distances. And in many ways, the Misha Berach is a prayer that also acts like all prayers, like a mirror to us to remember and to think about the people who we know who are in need of healing, of mind and body and spirit and soul. A mirror to us that as we leave the sanctuary this morning, that maybe we also this afternoon plan on sending a text message or making a phone call or making a meal or visiting someone who is in need, so that we do the holy work of helping to comfort those in our community as well. As my eyes go around the congregation, I want to invite you to say the name of people that you might be thinking about, and we'll add to the names on our list and then sing the words of Misha Berach. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, O God, who supports and comforts those in need.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor haberacha us those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Invite your uncle Eric Kovitz, who looked like he was getting ready to come on up, and he's going to do that. And Logan, I'm going to invite you to come stand up here to help us dress the Torah as well. Invite the congregation to please rise.
All right, there you go. We're putting it back down right here. Okay.
Logan, can you get that cover?
I hear you're a pro.
Yep.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
I first want to thank the people who helped me get here, tutors and teachers especially. How else would I learn all those Hebrew prayers? I'd also like to thank my family and friends, because I like having a family, and I like having friends. I want to thank everyone who traveled a long way to get here, or had some sort of detour. I want to thank my mom for being my mom, doing stuff like telling me to do my homework and making good food. I want to thank my dad for being my dad, making sure I'm not late to school and letting me do cool stuff with him. I want to thank my brother because he's both awesome and lets me have a constant excuse for not cleaning my room. If he's the one who trashed my room, I shouldn't have to clean it up. While we're on the subject of parents, Mom and Dad, please join me on the bima.
As usual, Logan, I am bursting with pride for your accomplishments. You have worked so hard to become Bar Mitzvah today, and my heart is overflowing with happiness at your efforts realized. When I look at you, I see you for yourself, a man of stunningly powerful intellect, admirable determination, and the best sense of humor of anyone I know. I also see you for the men you're named for. My grandfather, Leonard, the reason your first name is Logan, and my father, Mark, the reason your middle name is Meyer. Like you, these men were brilliant, determined, funny, loving, and kind, and they would have loved you so much. You are a golden alchemy of family and self, your nature and nurture, and you stand on the shoulders and within a powerful legacy of love and smarts with a side of sarcasm. Whether it's your strength, which I first learned about through your incredible kicks when you were in my belly, or your eagerness to learn, or your ability to be so easy and fun to hang out with. I'm constantly impressed by you, Logan. As you know, I tell you and your brother all the time that I'm so lucky to be your mommy. And I tell you now, as you stand here an adult in the eyes of the Jewish community, I am so lucky to be your mommy. Mazel tov, my bar mitzvah boy, bar mitzvah man, golden alchemy of Logan Meyer Rothberg.
Logan, for 13 years, I have been telling everyone I know that you are one of the most incredible people I've ever known. But I have also learned that when you make a claim like that, you kind of need to back it up with evidence. So I have evidence to back it up. First, I would like to mention this tallis that you're wearing. You are wearing the tallis that I wore at my bar mitzvah that was given to me by my grandfather. This is evidence showing how family-oriented, sentimental, and respectful you are. Plus, your great-grandpa Ernie would be very proud. Second, I bet you that most of them out there don't know that you took the PSAT when you were in 4th grade, and you outscored half of the high school kids. Evidence of how intelligent you are. Also, your incredible aptitude for chess also supports this. Third, you earned your black belt in Taekwondo when you were 9 years old, and you'll be testing for your 2nd degree black belt sometime this year. Evidence of your determination and ambition to succeed. Fourth, you discovered all of your interests independent of our influence. Chess, math, role-playing video games, and all those crazy videos you show me, just to name a few. Evidence that you know your own mind and you're going to make your own path in life. And finally, there's what you accomplished here today on your bar mitzvah. And I believe that this evidence speaks for itself. So I think I have presented strong evidence to support my statement that you are one of the most incredible people I have ever known. And I am honored that you called me Dad. I love you, and I'm so proud of you.
Bait and switch.
I'm going to ask the congregation to please rise. Logan, you're wearing your father's talit today. He received at his bar mitzvah. And the talit is a beautiful reminder of the values that are in the Torah, that you are wrapped up, right, surrounded and, by those values, and that the knots and the all of the braiding, thank you, I guess, is actually representative of the 613 mitzvot and the commandments that we have in the Torah. And as you wear that talit, I want to just show you something, which is this. I hope that you see how tight and how wound these knots are. And these are the values of your family and of your community and of the people who have supported you through your life, right? And these values, they are strong and they're powerful, right? They're so incredible. And these values are what's going to help you get in your life, on the journey of life, to here. And along this path and along that journey, it's not always going to be easy. But I want to invite you always to go back to the values that you have, right? Recognizing that your family and your community have taught you to live well, to be kind, to recognize the good in others, to be compassionate, to be learned, to not take life too lightly, which I know in your comedic self you don't. But also not to treat responsibilities lightly either. Right? These values are going to get you to here. At the center of the Torah is a prayer, an ancient prayer, which our people have said for thousands of years. And it's a prayer that the priests used to give to our people and that parents now give to their children. And it's a prayer that everyone in here is giving to you this day. If you'll place your hands onto his shoulders. May God bless you and keep you. Ken Yehi Ratzo.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Ken Yehi Ratzo.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
And may God journey with you all of the days of your life. And may God bless you with the most important blessing of all, the blessing of shalom, of peace, and shleimut, of wholeness. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
We're going to stay exactly where we are and continue with the words of Aleinu L'Shabeach, which are found on the screen.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'ateit gedula le'yotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol ha'amonam, va'anachnu kore'im, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Did you see it?
Too hard.
Sorry. At this time, we think of those in our community who have died. Those whom death has taken from us recently, and those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts and made our own. It's our custom in our community to rise when the name of your loved one is said. We're in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days, after the deaths of Tricia Devereaux, Ron Hampton, Joanne Sackler, Michael Cecil, Joseph Pepos Tarabalis, and Joseph Pepos Tarabolis. We mark with sympathy and sadness the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of William Adams, Ellen Myers Edelman, Max Ahrens, Yetta Bahar, Diane Beitzker, Marilyn Berkelhammer-Benson, Rita Myers-Blyman, Renee Buxbaum, Ruth Castle, Israel Chesler, Daniel Cohn, Florence Demesic, Harold Dresner, Baron Elam, Joseph Ellenson, Marty Faberman, Gloria Maddow Glazer, Edward Sire Goldstein, Marion Herman, Julia Kahn, Dorothy Kaplan, B. Carton, Patrick Kennel Sr., Irene Kosowitz, Rebecca Lavitan, Sadie Levin, Marshall Lindner, Irving Livingston, Fred Long, Stephen McGregor, Herman Machikoti, Simon Marcus, Dorothy Matos, Gerald M. Menaker, Ada Miller, Ralpha Mitchell, Herbert Mooney, Miriam Nachman, Harry A. Norman, Jean Pardo, Larry Patlin, Ruth Patt, Cabell Philpott, Elise Pinto, Rochelle Prosno, Herbert Reese, Isidore Roseman, Benjamin Harold Rosker, Mark L. Rothman, Gussie Rovman, William Royer, Daniel Sadler, Julian Robert Sally, Elias Bitar Samahan, Nathan Schwartz, Gary Schwartzbach, Clara Shaw, Sam Silverstein, Tamara Spatz, Joe S. Tobias, Nate Tobin, Naomi Ruth Uri, Robin Weinstein, Hannah Weiss, Marjorie Siegelmeyer-Wetzka, and Samuel Udell. Logan's family wishes to remember Michael Lundner, Mark Lundner, Rita Botwinick, Leonard Botwinick, Henny Geller, Emmanuel Lundner, David Geller, Betty Botwinick, Brenda Katz, Benjamin Rothberg, Betty Rothberg, Pauline Eichenbaum, and Ernest Eichenbaum. Remember as well all who died in the Shoah and the Holocaust, our American service women, men and women who've given their lives for our freedoms, and those who died defending the state of Israel. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing as we stand as one congregational family and recite the words of Kaddish Tome found on page 598. Yit gadal vayit kadash shemei rabba be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehe shemei rabba mevarach le'olam olamei olamaya yit barach v'ishtabach v'it pa'ar v'it ramam v'it naseh v'it hadar v'it haleh v'it halal shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav huya aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Please be seated. So, just a few announcements before we sing Shehechianu and go on to our Kiddush lunch. Temple Bethel is proud to sponsor the final film of this year's Charlotte Jewish Film Festival. The film is called My Neighbor Adolf, and the screening is here at Temple Bethel this Sunday, February 26th at 7 p.m. And there's still an opportunity to purchase tickets, which can be found on our calendar and on the film festival page at the LJCC website. We are just about 1 week away from this year's Purim festivities next Sunday, March 5th. And at 10 a.m., families of children of all ages are welcome to come to make Purim crafts and play games here at Temple. And then we're going to join here in the sanctuary for our spiel. And I see that Harrison Lord is sitting in the back. He came today not only to celebrate but is also just trying to prepare himself mentally for the Shushan Rhapsody. He wasn't expecting that I was going to say his name out loud or draw any sort of attention to that. It's going to be based on the music of Queen. Don't miss Harrison in it, because he is a champion. And costumes are highly encouraged. I think he's sinking down into his chair. All right. Immediately after the spiel, we're going to meet over at the Levine JCC for the community-wide Purim celebration, and there's going to be games and performances and food and just tons of fun. Of course, now is the last chance, or getting towards the last chance to promote the 80s dance party, which is on March 11th. It was on this Shabbat in 2023 that we stood here and made a collection of 80s music references to encourage registration. And this is your final countdown to register. So walk like an Egyptian and bust a move to your phone or computer to register at the temple's 80th dance party. Don't you forget about me making this announcement. Please register again. Some of you got what I just said. All right. Now, when we reach the end of a service like this, we take an opportunity to thank God. And we thank God not only for having given us life, but for having sustained our lives to reach this joyous occasion. And we say the words and sing the words of Shehechianu. And then afterwards, we're all going to say Shabbat Shalom, and we'll say Mazel Tov. And then everyone is invited. Logan's grandparents are providing Kiddush lunch for everyone who's here, right over in the Silverman Social Hall. We thank you for doing that, for the David Silverman Social Hall. So after we sing Shehechianu and say Shabbat Shalom, we'll head over and have a Kiddush lunch. So we continue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu Lazman hazeh. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And we say Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.